Sam Hunt leads the night on. No! I want to talk now because my buddy's in studio.
Oh, I thought that was my intro music.
Oh, well, I think it was pretty cool.
That was
don't
pretty
you?
awesome. I would love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Good Policies with Mike Barrett.
Make it sound so much more exciting than it truly is. But I'll take it.
No, man. I think that discussing with you insurance policies is a great thing because not only is it a necessary evil in this world, but you're a guy that just makes it comforting and fun.
I'm the money, sedative of insurance.
Money in my hand, please. Money in my hand.
No payola.
So Good Policies, we have Mike Barrett in studio every Wednesday, and we discuss the fact that, if you're not taking care of yourself, who is? Really. And
Right.
I think we need to talk about car insurance because as we come out of summer, we're getting into fall, and a lot of younger people turning that age where they can drive. And, of course, the weather starts to get to be that point where a little ice is on the road sometimes in the mornings, and it could be dangerous, and accidents happen. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, there's a
Accidents
million
happen.
things that can happen, especially this time of year. You get that morning fog, you get that new driver, and, it's pretty scary. And this is really the time of year. And you brought up a great point. The new operators. This is we're starting to see more and more get their licenses because a lot of them had to take the summer driver's ed, and so we're having that discussion with mom and dad, talking about adding them to their policy. And I'm not going to lie, there's no way to sugarcoat this at all. It is not fun at all. There's a reason. See, 1989, my dad bought the agency. I turned 16 in 1991. There's a reason why I had a multicolored junker car with liability only. My dad had too much knowledge at that time, and he used it against me, which was very wise because he knew it cost $1 million to insure me.
Now, I'm not trying to scare people from talking about insurance for young people, but I've got 3 kids. One of them left who has not yet gotten his driver's license. And I remember each time one of them was old enough to drive, my insurance doubled. I'll be honest with you, it doubled almost. Is that something real common practice across the board?
Totally common practice across the board. So, and you know what? That's a great thing because we're at the time of year when we do this where we get a lot of folks who say, well, my friend added their son Johnny and it was nowhere near that. Well, it's the game of telephone. Your friend may not have looked at the details. They may have minimum state coverages. They may have liability only. Johnny may be a good student, or maybe your child's not a good student. I'm sorry to tell you that, but not everyone's a good student.
No bumper sticker for honor student on your car.
No, my kid averages D. I'm excited. So there's so many factors that go into it, but it's not uncommon to see. I'll give you an example. I've had, in the past few weeks, I've had somebody who is paying maybe $700 a year for their auto insurance, and this is just really rough math. I'm not giving you a real example, but I can tell you right now that you add a youthful operator, you're probably looking at $1,700. You're adding a youthful operator driving a car primarily on their own, so you've got a multi-car with 2 drivers, you and your youthful operator. You're looking at well over $2,000 potentially, just for them. Just for them. So the average youthful on a liability-only policy by themselves, you're looking at a minimum of $1,400 a year for insurance, which is mind-blowing.
But at the same time, what is the value of your child?
Well, no,
or the car that they're driving? You like the car they're driving or the kid? I don't know.
More important, and obviously I don't want to do this comparison because it sounds horrible. The insurance that you're buying for your child, and this is really the important thing, is you're protecting your child and you're protecting yourself, because if you have that child who is prone to accidents, so hitting people, running people over, just the things you don't want, you are looking at a risk of your bank account. You are looking at a potential loss, because let's say you do say, okay, well, this is way too expensive. I'm going to bring these limits of liability down to state minimums, which is $25,000 bodily injury per person, $50,000 bodily injury for the accident. Nowhere near enough coverage. That might give you a day and a half in the hospital if you hit somebody. But once those limits are exhausted, that does not put you off the hook. You are not done. If you have caused more bodily injury than that, if you have caused more property damage than the state minimum of $10,000, that's your bank account. That's a lien on your house. That's some scary stuff. So it's really about There are ways, and I can tell you right now, I have been finding great opportunities to save people with young drivers money. Anywhere from finding a company who just has a better insurance score rating for any one particular individual. An insurance score, of course, is a small consumer report that weighs pretty heavily now when you're rating auto insurance. They could be a good option with a good youthful rate, or I could write you with another company. I've got two companies now that actually do these devices that you plug into your car, monitors your driving, and can give you a credit as a result, up to 30% in one case.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
I did have one question before you take off.
No, I actually have so much more, so shut up. No, I'm kidding. What's up?
my youngest son, Tyler, who is interested in driving, and he's been doing part-time jobs to save up money for himself, for his car, for his insurance, for gas, of course, which is on the lower side of things now, but still expensive.
Sure.
He says I should always, like you started off the show, buy a beater car, multicolored. Is that a wise choice for people to get their young drivers a beat-up used vehicle, or is it actually better to get a new car and insure it well? What's kind of the best way to go with that?
So, it really comes down to what you're comfortable with. You want to get a vehicle that's safe. I mean, bar none, that is priority number one. You get the safest vehicle you can. But ideally, you don't want to go out and get a vehicle that requires a loan, because the second you have a loan, you are required then to carry full coverage on said vehicle. So you start adding comprehensive and collision coverage on a vehicle that's primarily being driven by a young operator, somebody licensed less than 3 years. Wow. Anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a year in that case, just for them.
Wow.
Yes. And anyone who tells you that they can get it cheaper are not doing it properly. Every company is
I love how
the
you
same.
paused on that. You wanted to say like legally, but you can't.
No, there's no legally. I mean, it really is. It's probably misrepresentation of the material facts, where you're saying, "Look, this is my car, and yeah, this kid lives in my house, but I don't let him drive it." Oh, that's a slippery slope. I've seen it in action. It's a slippery slope. Before I used to go, yeah, people do that, that's fine. But I actually try to warn people that can be, material misrepresentation on a policy can void coverage in some cases. Ooh. So be careful.
Well, so to get the full scoop, the lowdown, talk to Mike Barrett at Barrett Insurance for a good policy. Call him or email.
Oh, yeah, that's where I come in. 748-5224. We're located on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. You can, of course, check out our website, all of our contact information on there, thebarrettagency.com, and check out our Facebook page, Barrett Insurance Agency.
Thank you, brother.
Have a fantabulous week.
You too.
New word.